Understanding the value of youth esports is more important now than ever. I hope that when you walk away from this video, you are convinced that youth esports should no longer be considered foreign or weird, but you will see youth esports or competitive video games as a resource for reaching youth in your community. When someone says they scored a field goal or a touchdown, your mind probably goes immediately to American football. Those are terms everyone knows and understands. But what about a 360 no-scope or a victory royale? You also know what an all-state athlete is. But what does it mean to be challenger in a game like League of Legends or Overwatch? Understanding these terms might seem silly at first, but the more you understand about video game culture, the better equipped you are to celebrate youth in your community. Now, before you go and start educating yourself on all these video game terms and watching esports events, I've got to convince you that it's worth your time. So I'm going to give you 3 reasons that I believe youth esports deserves your community's attention. First of all, providing youth with youth esports opportunities communicates that you care about them. You may not like it, but let's be honest, the youth in your community probably care about Fortnite. If a student jumps in your vehicle and says, I scored 21 points in our basketball game today, or I scored a touchdown or a field goal, you immediately celebrate them, right? You support them, you cheer for them. But it's far too often that students jump into our vehicle, start rambling about video games we don't understand, and we kind of just zone out and ignore them. See, when we begin to care about the things that our youth care about, it really says we care about them. It's that simple. The second reason that youth esports deserves your attention, youth esports provides a platform for students to build lasting relationships. Again, with a traditional sports example, if you join a football team as a student, it might be that it becomes part of your career, that you become a coach, maybe even a professional athlete someday. But let's be honest, most students join sports teams so they can be released from school early on game days and hang out with their buddies in a different town for 5 hours. See, when we start to understand that football teams and basketball teams have less to do about the leather ball that's being thrown around and more about the relationships that the students are building with their peers and coaches, we can then realize that esports doesn't really have to be all about what's on the screen. It can really be more about what's happening in person. You know, the person that's teaching you about this video game, how are they mentoring you? How are they leading you? The friends and peers you're playing the game with. See, it's about the relationships. It's not about what's on the screen. It's not about the controller. It's about the person and the heart of the student that is holding the controller. The third and final reason that youth esports deserves you and your community's attention is this. These students need you in their life. When we first started doing events at Satellite Gaming, it wasn't just because we like video games. It was because we saw a real need. We saw that video games was the most common activity amongst youth, that more kids play video games than engaged in any other activity on the planet. However, what positive avenues did they have to engage in video game culture? See, they just didn't have a lot of options. Sports kids could be on teams, choir kids could sing, band kids could play instruments. I love all of those things, and I engaged in most of those things. But as a young gamer 15 years ago, and even now today, there are so few opportunities for students to engage in video game culture in a positive way that I'm just here to say that this is more than a want or a desire. Our community needs this. Your community needs this. The students in your life need to have opportunities to engage in the activities they care about in a safe place where they feel valued. To summarize, the 3 reasons youth esports deserves your attention. 1, providing youth esports shows students you care about them. 2, providing youth esports builds lasting relationships. And 3, this is so far beyond a want or entertainment. Your students need an opportunity to engage in video game culture in a safe and positive way. After hearing these 3 points, I really hope you have a desire to take action, to do something about it. Maybe start educating yourself on video game terms. Maybe call up a student in your family and say, hey, teach me about Fortnite. Hey, can I watch you play a video game? Hey, talk to me about what games are popular right now. Or do this. I'll make this easy for you. I'm going to invite you to Satellite Gaming's online events. Once a month, Satellite Gaming is going to be hosting online Fortnite tournaments. And pretty regularly, we're going to be hosting other online video game events. Subscribe to this channel, follow us on social media, follow us on Twitch where we live stream those events. Don't worry, we'll provide you with links in the description so you don't get lost. Here's the bottom line. If you don't know what to do, we're here to help you. We care about you, we value you, and we hope that you care about the youth in your community. Thanks so much, stay awesome, and we'll see you next time.